I'm very satisfied and happy with the progress of the team in 5 weeks. These 5 weeks was very important to start to understand each player and the way they can answer to my proposal of training. And I'm very satisfied because we found new players also, and the team is more, there are more equilibrium, more coherence in the team. We have close to the imaginary first team, and for sure now I have doubts about when I must decide. It's not easy because we have 2 players in each position, and in some positions there are 3 or 4 players, and we can decide in the first instant to go in Europe. It's only 22 players, but even if you must play tomorrow the World Cup, in the 22 we need eliminate more 4. It's difficult now, but the team have a very good answer, and we watch all the players at least plays 3-4 times 45 minutes. I am very sure about that the options I made for this first step is not definitive, because until September it's open, the group is open to come someone, and in the next step also many important is that in Europe the players have now a new contact with a different kind of football, much more difficult, and I want to watch these players have the same behavior, the same answer that they had until now, because here is a place in Goa. In this place they are very confident, and I want to watch the players in another ambience, another oppositors, and the 5 Portuguese teams that we're gonna meet are very strong, and this for me I can have a better idea about the personality, about the way of playing, the collective and the individual, of course. Difficult is the oppositor, better is for the team in this moment, because there are no pressure of points, there are no pressure of qualifying, there are no pressure of newspapers or something like that. The pressure is, for me, is to understand, even we lose a game, what kind of mistakes we made, because if you lose 3 games and you have the same mistakes, for sure you have a problem, and you must correct these mistakes. If you win 5-0, 6-0 and it's easy, perhaps you have the sensation, the coaches and the players, okay, this is easy. I don't want the players always in competition is themselves to say I must do better. If we lose the first game, for example 3-1, we want the next one not make a draw or losing. I want that this difference make more close in each game. It's the reason I don't. The first 5 games are from Portuguese national teams of first league in Portugal under 17, and when you have teams as Benfica, Sporting, Belenenses from Lisbon, they are very strong. And the other teams we're going to play, Setúbal and Estoril, they are teams that can beat Benfica or Sporting. It's very important, because there are an organized. The competition is organized in Portugal, and with very tough games, and the quality is very good. The conditions of games are very good, and for the boys, is for me the second step is until 15 May. After we have another step, more intense, because we're gonna play with teams in Paris, in Italy, in Spain, very strong. And after we made the balance, because if I'm afraid now, and when months is good to build the first ideas, if I'm afraid now to play against Benfica, or Paris Saint-Germain, or Athletic Madrid, I don't know, but the level that you're going to find in October is higher. And this is the reason, if I can have 20 hard games, it's better than have 2 hard games. And for sure, we're going to fight for even his training, we want with the movie films, put all the mistakes, and the players must understood that for every goal, usually in 9% there are a mistake. Is right when they score. When you arrive to Europe, they are much difficult to play against these teams.
So, since you are in Goa, have you seen any talented player from Goa? Have you played against any team in Goa?
We play against Saligaon. Yeah. Saligaon. We play against Sporting Goa. We play against Cabalocim. Yes, senior teams. But for me, of course, it's better when you win than you lose. But for me, it's not important the result.
I think, have you seen any talent from Goa under 17 player?
In the games I made, no. Not a player can come directly in the national team. The players that I saw, and immediately comes 7 players here, is from Minerva. Minerva, okay, they have, but it was players, not new players for the national team, because almost players was in this program. And when I arrived, I say I want to watch almost players that been here, and after they decided don't stay, to have an idea. And I think in all the games I make experience. I watch players. Some players I like, some players I don't like. And now I'm sure that the players that bring to me, I have a conscience, and 99% that I made the good decisions for the team, for the national team. And perhaps your question is pertinent. Perhaps there are players from Goa, but I didn't so, and I have no time to go watch competitions to find these players. And I trust in the staff of national team that bring me the players, better players they think it's important for our team. Idea about the draw is in July, but when you choose to play Portugal, Spain, France and Italy, we play against teams that are very strong and represent a kind of European football and different European football. Portugal is not qualifying. Argentina, for example, is not qualifying. But in Europe we have a contact very interesting. After we go, I don't know where we go in July and August, but if we have the chance to play, for example, against national team or Italy or a national team of Mexico, we're going to do that, because this is the level of World Cup. But for example, Benfica or Sporting in Portugal, they have 80% of the national team. And they are eliminated by Spain. But Spain is very small. You know, in Europe, even the teams that are not qualifying have the level to come here. And for sure, I want to have contact with this level. If you play against Benfica or against Paris Saint-Germain, for example, or again, we're going to play a tournament in Europe, perhaps we play against, I don't know, because I don't know the draw, but we can play against Roma or Juventus or a national team of Colombia. We are in the right way to have this contact. I don't. Sometimes perhaps we want to choose a small team to practice, to have some automatisms we want to do, and it's more easy. Put a transfer of the training to the game when the oppositor is weakest. But now our way, and if you watch our trainings, is a lot of intensity, rhythm, concentration, focus. This is the most important. Small periods of maximum intensity, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because it's like that when we play football. And the players now start to understand after 1 month, because it's normal. The coaches have different ideas, and what I saw immediately in this team is very resistant, but aerobic resistance. And I want an aerobic resistance, because this is the football today. You make a run of 16 meters, you lose the ball, reaction, and you must run 40 meters. You can run 60 meters and lose the ball, and okay. Now, no, this is the football. And is a lot of small efforts, but 150%. And this is the way of we work. Of course, this is one point, and the other point is the organization. The team must play with lines, definite lines, and no big spaces between lines, because this is what the big teams like to play, is when, if you have like that is one thing, if you have like that you have space to play. And all the big teams play very well in this space. And this is, I know very well what you're going to find. And I want the players know the difficulty they're going to find. And we work every day, since the 6th March when we start, we work every day for this discipline, tactical discipline, physical discipline, mental discipline. Intelligence is the most important for the football. Because football is take decisions, and take decisions very fast. And our process of training is like that. If you tell me the World Cup is in 15 days, I say I'm not prepared. But in 7 months, we're going to be prepared.
Coach, I will try to come in the team who we can drive the team forward, because this is the first time that the country is having anything like this kind of exposure. So, yeah, 2 questions now.
Okay. For the injuries, it's something, there are injuries you can't control. A broken leg you can control, ligaments you can control, and of course there are injuries. If you have many injuries in the same time, it's a big problem. If you have one player is a little injured 2-3 days and you can play one game but he can come, it's not a problem. It's not a problem, and we have players enough. Of course, all the teams are built with the basis, and this basis you don't. It's difficult if you change a lot this basis, but it's possible. I don't want to depend of one player, because I think the big player is the team. The team is the most important, goalkeeper until the other, and these 11 players. Because if you are undisciplined in the game, every player knows well what he must do when it's a free kick, when it's a corner, when it's a situation and with in superiority, numeric superiority, or in inferiority in the numeric. And every player has the answer. Of course, there are players that are a little bit more intelligent, they have more talent, but we can't and we don't want to depend on one player. If one player don't play, oh, this player don't play, oh la la, it's a catastrophe. No, we must be prepared. Me as a coach and the players must be confident. If the player very good, the striker don't play because he is injured or is a yellow card, come another, and the team feel confident because he knows the other gonna make the same work on a field. And you know, I can't control if you miss a penalty in last minute. You can't control this because we work with penalties, and it's not a fault of a coach. It's the pressure, it's the quality, it's the moment. And I won't depend of the things that we can control, and we can control the training, we can control the organization, we can control to be better the psychology in each player, but there are things we can't control. And we must be prepared for the things we can control. And of course, when we feel the reason is not only the staff, the coach, but also the doctor, the physio. If there are a player, we have to take care about that. If a player have a little, he feels tired, okay, perhaps we have 7 months. I don't need, you're going to push another % because I need the player. You know, because I'm not worried about to depend of one player. I don't want.
Coach, any injuries right?
Yeah, the injury of 2 players that they are recovering, ligaments and fracture of tibia. It's very difficult because ligaments. Yes. Which the name of the second one is Aman and Chetri. Aman Chetri. And there are another one. One is ligaments, and the other because I don't watch. They work every day, but it's very difficult because the time of recovery 100% is similar as time that you are stopped. If you are 4 months stopped, you need 4 months to come. and it's not easy for all these written. The players come, the most important, but there are one thing, that there are players with future. And you can't force the players, because ligaments, if you have another recidive, you can finish your. And for me, it's most important, because he's a good player, he can recover it 100%, and even he can play the World Cup, he's ready for the future, because there are a project under 20 later, and this is for me the way I think. And when I look this team, I look for the World Cup, but also which players I think, with my experience of a coach, I can imagine later in the first team, national team of India. And this is important, because there are players we know, perhaps they have never, even they are good, never gonna play, because each place is specific. If you have a goalkeeper 1.70 m, never gonna play in a high level. You understand? And now I think our focus also as a coach is prepare the team for World Cup, but prepare the team for the future, because there are the future after World Cup.
Futsal, a lot of futsal events are happening.
Futsal?
Futsal.
Yes.
And do you think that will help football, Indian football? Is that something that...
I don't know in Europe, I don't know, perhaps one or two exceptions, but I don't know any player comes from the futsal to the professional football. The best player in the world, one of the best players in the world is Portuguese in futsal, Ricardinho. And it's fantastic what he do in futsal, but he can't play football, because it's different space, it's different touches, it's small, it's not the same, it's the same of beach soccer. There are fantastic players of beach soccer, and Portugal have also Maja. He's a fantastic player, and he tried to play professional in second league, and he can't, because they are different things. And of course, it's good the futsal as a sport then can bring young people to the football, but I don't believe in this level. Then you can put the best player of futsal in the football, normal football. It's very difficult. But when they have 8, 10 years old, okay, it's a good start. But there are a moment they can come in a normal football. And I need to bring all the experience of life. You are a father, you are a mother, you are a son, you have brothers, you go to the cinema, you know, there's a lot of things, and you must bring your experience to, because they are like children. And for me, the first thing before football players, they are a human being. And is my point of departure to my relationship. And I want, even I have, is a difference to, there are a big difference to be disciplined with aggressivity in the bad sense or in the good sense. I can be aggressive because I want the player goes first on the ball, pressing, and you know, this is the competitivity. But I don't go to fight with the player or call him he's stupid, because I want respect, I don't want fear, okay? And as a father, with my children, they respect me, but they don't fear about me, because we can talk. If you are tired, okay, no problem, you are tired. If you tell me the truth, I have no reasons to think that you can tell the truth. But I tell to the players in Portugal the same. If you lie to me, I know, I finish the confidence. But give me the truth. And if you say, Coach, I'm very tired, I can't run today, I don't go send him off home. No, I say, I keep okay. Rest one day, and you rest is a fantastic training, because 2 days after he comes in the training very well. Okay? If someone says, listen, I miss my father or my mother, and I need to miss one game, one training, no problem, because they are human beings. Understand? And this is the first and the most important thing, the relationship between coaches and players. And I never had a problem with even players more with another age, because I know exactly what they need and what they want and what is important to kept my ideas, to follow me as a leader, and as a leader, natural leader, and not a fear with a fear leader. I'm afraid of the coach, okay, because they don't play well, and that is the reason I'm very confident. And when I watch Indian football now, for example, I'm very glad that Stephen, for example, wins the game against Myanmar. I think is important for all the federation, all the football is a very good thing. Win after 64 years or 6 years outside is fantastic. And I know he built a team with a lot of many young players. And this is the reality for Indian football in the future is that. And this team is fantastic for the level in India. It's fantastic. But is a team must make progress to close with the other level of Europe. But they can arrive that. And if we think together, the Indian football, I think, have a good future. But it's not in 5 months. It's 5 or 6 years. Yeah. No, I'm very realist, and I don't sell illusions. I can be a dreamer. I know that in all games I have a possibility to win. I have a chance to win, even if it's 1%, and I fight for this 1%. But there are teams for another world. I think the problem is if you feel that the team grow up, have coherence and play better, perhaps it's fantastic, but it's not enough to win Brazil. It's not enough to win Germany, perhaps. But we can believe when we go start the game. I never in my life and with these players is the same. I never say, okay, guys, we're gonna try to lose 1-0 or 2-0. Never. I say we're gonna try to win. Is the big difference because the mentality is to win. But if they are superiors, if they are a lot of background of conditions, it's very different. In Germany, in England, in Portugal, there are players with 17 years old plays in first league. Fabregas plays in Arsenal with 16 years old. It's a big difference for Indian football. But this team is fantastic for the level. And these players, I think a lot of them, because they play since 1 year and a half, a lot of international games. Now we have a lot of international games. Are together 2 years, going to play World Cup for the first time. It's an Indian team in the World Cup football. They are the stars of the future. Yeah. There are a lot of players, must be the example for all the country. And I think the most important is when the young players in India, 12, 30, 14 years old, look at the players and recognize him, and I want to be with him. Because
that was my question. Like, do you think that you need examples, like 1 or 2, at least few examples?
But examples comes for example. You watch the players and you think the number 7, for example, is the best player of Indian team. But comes the World Cup, and the number 7 is a good player. But the number 11 makes fantastic things and the king of the Indian team. In Portugal, we win the European Cup. And everybody, when Ronaldo is injured, without Ronaldo, it's finished, Portugal. But it's a contradiction. If Ronaldo is not injured, perhaps we never win. Because Eder, nobody likes Eder in Portugal. And Eder comes and scores the goal and is hero for all life. He makes the most fantastic achievement of the Portuguese football. Exactly. And this is the football. Is the reason I never talk about one player, particular player. But I know when finish World Cup, there are 2, 3, 4, 5 players, 8 players. Oh, look, I would like with him. Because you have cricket in India. And I'm since 14 days in India. I'm thinking 37 days in the newspaper, old newspaper. I saw every day the picture of Kohli.
soccer, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because he's a big star. He's like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, yes.
And of course, this is fantastic because the people loves cricket. But the people in the United States don't know soccer.
Yeah.
And now everybody likes soccer in the United States is very strong. India can make the same with the competitions, with the players, and of course, I think there are players that be recognized as the stars for the future. And if the medias give an opportunity to push for the football, it's good because after there are under 16 players, under 15 players, and this is the start. I think some people don't imagine how really important is the World Cup for the future. It's not the results to be qualifying in semi-final. This is dreams, because India is one of the weakest teams in the 24. And this is the reality. But the reality is one thing, but we're going to fight to contradict the reality. And this is our job.